All right, welcome back to the Travi Wavi. I am your affable host, Travis Eason, and we're coming to you live in a 325 from beautiful downtown, historic Abilene, Texas, the storybook capital of America. And like I do every week, I bring you an amazing character from the storybook capital of Texas. This week, we've got a wonderful guest. We're going to get into him in just a minute, but I wanted to remind my audience to subscribe and like and come down Thursday mornings, grab some coffee next door at Majestic Coffee. They serve Onyx coffee, best in the country in my opinion. And come next door and sit down and watch these podcasts that we broadcast live on Thursdays. The Travi Wavi, followed by The Breakdown with Ben, and we just love to see your face and have you here. Well, this week, as promised, I brought you another wonderful guest. I have Daron Pacheco. Welcome, Daron. Glad that you're here. Absolutely. You are the founder and CEO of Howdy Media, which is a video production and content consulting company.
Correct.
And you've been doing that for a few years here in Abilene?
Yes, correct.
Well, before we dig into that, sir, let me ask you the question I ask all my guests first time. Do you have any siblings?
I do.
Tell me about your siblings.
I have one sibling, a little sister, who... Actually, we just celebrated her son's first birthday recently. Cool. Yeah, she's a mom.
Cool.
She's married.
She in town?
She is.
You guys get to see each other a lot?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And so you're an uncle also with that?
I am Unc.
That's good. And then you have a wife?
Yes.
And you guys just celebrated the birth of a little girl a few months ago?
Correct. So I have a 3-month-old. Mm-hmm. She'll be 3 months in a few days. Okay. And... yeah, that just recently happened. It's been a wild but the greatest ride of my life so far.
And you guys are getting a little bit of sleep now?
We are.
Good.
We are getting sleep. Some nights are better than others. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Good. Yeah, being a new parent is a fun adventure.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to come next. Well, congratulations on that, sir.
Thank you.
So are you an Abilene guy? Did you grow up here?
I did not grow up in Abilene.
Okay.
So I grew up in a little town called Denver City, Texas.
Okay.
It's about 60 miles west of Lubbock. And I graduated from high school there. It was like, I got to get out of here. This is too far west, too much dirt. No trees, no hills. It was awful. Mm-hmm. Oil town. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, I'm going east. And my big venture east was to Abilene. And so people who come from DFW to Abilene, they're like, oh, this is like West Texas. And I'm like, you've never been out, never been to the edge. Yeah. Like, we were 15 minutes from New Mexico. And so I graduated there, came here to go to school at Hardin-Simmons University. Okay. And I ended up graduating there with a degree of finance in 2022. Okay. Didn't want to go into finance, so I started a media company instead.
Cool. And did I read that you played baseball at Hardin-Simmons?
I played baseball for 1 year. Okay. And then COVID hit. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to the MLB. So this might be my chance to just kind of, go. And also the Lord was calling me to start leading worship for some reason. And so a job opened up. I was offered a worship internship job for the school. And so I was leading like all the chapel stuff.
Very cool.
And I had no previous experience singing. I could play a couple chords on the guitar, and I didn't know why. But the Lord used that to grow me to kind of where I am now. And I still lead worship every single week at our church. And so, yeah. And
you guys attend Bethel Assembly in Anson?
Correct. Yeah, we go to Bethel Assembly of Anson. I'm on staff part-time there. Okay. Kind of help out with whatever. It's a rural church that is growing like a wildfire. And so it's been cool to be a part of something like nationally recognized as like a rural movement. And it's just in Anson, Texas.
That's cool.
And so, I mean, we have sometimes almost the population of Anson, like, we sometimes have more than the population of Anson in this church.
Wow.
People coming in from everywhere. And so it's just been cool to see.
That's cool.
But
did I read that you had a article in the Abilene Scene this week? Or maybe just got posted this week? Maybe.
I have one coming out at some point.
I think I just read it. I think it just
came out. Is it out?
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to go read it.
I'll send it to you. At least the digital part's out. But it mentions that your baseball career in college, and then you found your way segueing into being a video production and content consulting company. So how did that, how did you maneuver through that labyrinth?
So it's a very okay. So I'll start. So when I was in college, the year was 2022, and I decided while I was in college. So I was doing real estate for a few years at this time too. So I got my license basically as soon as I graduated high school. And so I started to try and sell real estate, and I had a listing, and I didn't have anybody to take pictures of it. And the one guy at the time was booked out for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, surely it can't be that hard. I'm the type of person who like I will obsess over something until I figure it out. And so I was like, okay, screw it. I'm going to go buy a $3,000 camera. Didn't have $3,000 and got the camera in. I was like, okay. So I figured out how to take the pictures. I was like, okay, this can't be that hard. Obviously, it's a massive need here in Abilene. And specifically, I was just focusing on the real estate media. And so I had the camera at this point. I had my iPhone that I did some videos with. And I bought a drone off of Facebook for like a few $100. Got my drone license and everything because I was terrified that the FAA was going to show up at my door. Anyway, so I started in the real estate media scene because I saw there was a need. 6 months go by. I graduate. I realize I have this very nice camera, this nice Sony camera. And I was like, there's got to be something more that I can do with this. And so I started venturing out. I started to try to do weddings. I started to capture events and do all different types of things. And what's cool is, so I'm 24 years old, and I grew up at like the very beginning of when social media was a thing. So I started, my first YouTube video was in 2012, 2011. And I mean, I was in junior high at that time. And so that was my first video. Vine came out, started making some Vines because I thought it was fun. And so little did I know, I was learning what I was eventually going to be doing in the future. And so because I grew up with it, because I had this experience making videos, purely because I was just having fun. Like I wasn't focused on anything else. I was able to kind of use some of that as a good foundation and starting point of like, okay, there's potential here, because now that I'm older and trying to build a business, I can use this skill and leverage it in order to grow the business. And so the whole time we have been in business, I can confidently say, I don't think we've even spent over $600 in ads, or any other form of marketing, because everything is just pure organic content that I put out there. And that's how we get our leads. And so after building all this stuff of doing video production, I was a one-man band for the first 2 years. And we moved into the podcast studio, and which we'll talk about that here in a second. But then I realized, I was like, okay, I did this. I pulled this off. Now, the more that I talk to other people around this area specifically, they have no idea how to pull something like that off. And so I was like, okay, what if I start helping them do it?
Yeah.
And that's really why we started doing the consulting and coaching. And so just helping these business owners harness the power of social media, because it is like the modern company uses only social media. It's probably about 90% of their stuff is social media. And that's where they get all their leads and all their traffic. And so that's why I became passionate about that. But to go backwards, we are now in a studio, which is right here in downtown Abilene. It's in the same building. If you're from Abilene, there's a cigar lounge. We're in the second floor of that building. And the whole idea was in 2024, we had just moved into an apartment on the north side, and we didn't have room in the apartment to have an office or anything for my stuff. and I had a bunch of equipment. I had a computer, and I was trying to figure out. And I was doing a Devo one morning. I was like, Lord, what am I supposed to do at this point? And then randomly, I saw this guy in actually Vegas who had a studio where he rented out to people and did kind of a similar thing. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And so the next day I signed a 2-year lease. And I told my wife, and she's like, you did what? And I was like, listen, the Lord told me he's going to take care of it. Don't worry about it. And she's like, okay, fine, let's do it. And so we moved into this spot, and it's just been cool to be able to help people build something and a brand. So like we have people who've never touched a camera, never touched social media hardly, who are now building a brand and building an audience, sharing what they believe is their mission on this planet. And we get to be a tool for them to utilize that. And so I think it's really cool.
It is very cool. I got a chance to be in your studio late spring, maybe. Some of your clients, Dr. Alejandro and Emily Elias, the chiropractor duo, I guess they're still creating content with you on a monthly basis every month. And we'd kind of discussed, since Alejandro, they're both clients of mine also, so I invited them on my podcast. They had me on theirs, and that was very fun. And it's just a beautiful space up there, lots of daylight. You've got a nice professional atmosphere and attitude up there. And I mean, I was in and out real quick because you take that all and post, break it down, edit it, and then help put it back out there into the marketplace. But I thought that was really cool. And then before the show, we were just discussing your moving spaces. You've got another studio coming up. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we recently signed a lease. We're moving to the 3rd floor of the the Modus building?
The Modus building, where Grain Theory is
right above Grain Theory. We're moving into a 900 square foot studio space. And so it's going to be where Howdy Media's, the rest of our existence lives. I don't ever see us needing to move to anywhere bigger than that.
Cool.
But this will allow a lot more space for us to work and have storage, first of all, but also to provide a better experience to our clients and our members who film content there. Because we're going to have 3 different sets. We're going to have a TV. We're going to have spaces that can stream, make YouTube videos, do webinars, film podcasts, Instagram reels, like anything, which we can do now, but we're kind of limited with our space.
Yeah.
It's a very small room.
It's cozy.
Yeah, very cozy, which is good. It's good at times. But there's not a lot of variety and options for our members and our video partners. And so it's gonna be cool.
Nice. And you said you'll be moving in over December.
Yeah, December we'll be moving in, and I really, my vision behind it as well is not to just have a podcast studio, but I want it to kind of be a hub for the creators of Abilene as well. And because if we have this cool space, like I want people to come and I want it to be the heart of the creators of Abilene. And so photographers, videographers, like even graphic designers, like just a place for them to come and either make content for themselves, for their clients, whatever it is. But I just want the space to be utilized to push Abilene forward in the online space.
That's good. Abilene we just are so enriched with so many creatives and artists. And I think personally, since we've all experienced COVID, basically since 2020, we've all been looking for that third space, that place, used to be the breweries, kind of do that situation, but we have lost touch, I think, societally without those third spaces, and especially, carving out a space for artists and creatives. I think that's wonderful. So I think I'd be remiss, because today is September 11th, and you just mentioned that you're 24, and I'm thinking, man, he's like the same age as my son. And so I know you probably don't have any memories of the 9/11 attacks that we experienced from, just based on your age.
I think I was 3 months old.
So I don't want to get into that or hammer on that, but I just would be remiss without making a mention of it on the show.
Absolutely.
Since it's it's kind of an important date in American history, I think.
Absolutely.
So with your different clients and some of the content that you're creating out there, for you as a citizen in Abilene, are there some stories or are there things that you think that we should be focusing on more? Like we talk about the Lancium, the Stargate project a lot here, but are there things that you would like just, the citizens of our little community to have more awareness of?
Oh man, as far as like just
Anything that comes to
living in
mind. Yeah,
Abilene,
anything that comes to mind.
I think one thing that I would like to see, and this is just like a personal preference, but like the live music scene, it's there, but it's very small. And so I'm a musician and I just love live music. Me and my wife go to concerts all the time. We go to music festivals. Like we just love being in the presence of live music. And so I think it would be huge if somehow, and Potosi Live is doing a great job. They've brought a lot. But even whenever big artists do come here, it's like kind of a letdown for the artists because it's pretty rare that they get sold out crowds in Abilene, which it makes me sad because then they're never going to come back to Abilene, right? And so I think that would be cool. I don't know. I feel like downtown is on the up. From the time that I moved here in 2019 to now, it is completely changed for the better, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of potential. They're putting in parks. They're putting in more spaces for people to walk around and just hang out and just come downtown and have a good time. I think there's even a bigger need for that. As far as like the video stuff goes, that's probably my biggest thing and passion. Obviously, that's why I'm in the business, is to like the online presence of people in Abilene. Nobody really has heard about Abilene before the Stargate stuff. They started doing like documentaries over the Stargate plant, and that thing is like at 5 million views, and people are in the comments, where the heck is Abilene? Where the heck is Abilene? I've never heard of this place. Even in people in Dallas, 2 hours down the road,
Never heard of us.
never heard of Abilene, Texas. And I'm like, this is such a cool place that I just want, I don't know. There's something in me that's like, we need to put Abilene on the map somehow. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but that's kind of what I see. I feel like Abilene is behind about 5 to 10 years on some things.
I'd go further than that. I'd say 10 to 20 years.
10 to 20 years. And so I've talked to, for example, I went and did a social media training at a real estate brokerage. I won't name who. But there was, I was talking about, and this is one of my first ones that I did. And so I'm talking like algorithms, hashtags, like hitting it hard, right? And there was a couple realtors in there who were like, hold on, let me make an Instagram account. I was like, whoa. It made me realize I needed to back up a little bit. And there's people who are well-versed in the online space, but there are also a lot of people who don't even have like an Instagram account or a TikTok account. And I'm like, how?
Or there's guys like me that have all this stuff but don't really know how to use it in a way that's beneficial.
Yes, exactly. And so these business owners, they see what we're doing and they're like, how in the world are you pulling this off in Abilene? Like we've been doing these cash hunts recently.
Yeah, I've been watching those.
It's a big marketing play, right? And I've made 6 of those videos, and I think today we're about to hit just those videos about 700,000 views just on Facebook.
It's crazy.
And so you think about how many people are in Abilene, 150,000?
Yep, if that.
So they see this kind of stuff, and this isn't the first time that we've pulled something like this off, but just creating content and it's even easier now. Like if you get on social media in Abilene right now, you're probably going to be one of the first ones. And you want to take advantage of it. And that's what I've been telling realtors. I'm like, there's 2 realtors in the entire town of Abilene that make YouTube videos.
Yep.
You go to their comment section, there's 100 comments of people who are moving here looking for this information.
Yep.
Those are all leads.
Yep.
And I'm like, and nobody's listened so far but like one person.
Yep.
And I don't know, I'm just trying to catch us up a little bit.
Yeah, it's good. Well, as I continue to race towards the grave, I realized it's something I realized when I was at ACU as a student and also working there, that like I was never going to be able to keep up with the current technology, even if we got like the brand new intelligent light programming board or whatever, and I learned how to use that. I recognized that within 6 months to a year and a half, it was what's the word I'm looking for? Outdated. Thanks,
Yeah.
Sam. And the next thing was going to be coming along, and I mean, of course, that's happened in the theater community with technology, but it's also happened with technology,
Everything.
and everything else. And so, there's a sense that most of us are not going to be able to keep up with the next new thing and how to do that. And I know, like with this podcast, I need all the help I can get to get the message out there that we're, having cool guests on the show. and, and so things like, SEO or hashtags, stuff like that, it's like, yeah, and like editing for clips and just there's so much work that goes into creating content. And then there's even more work that goes into getting that content out,
Creating good content.
that connects. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
as you've faced those challenges and with your youth and with your background in, being kind of a first adopter with social media and creating things, what are some things that you could share with me and our audience about how do we make good content and how do we share it?
Yeah, so I love this question. One of the things that I've heard recently was it is no longer social media, and it's now interest media.
Interest media.
Yes, so let me kind of explain what that means. Within the last probably year and a half to 2 years, social media has evolved into something where you pull it up and you are being fed exactly what you like to see.
On the algorithm. Yeah.
Exactly. So the algorithm knows what you like to watch and it feeds you more so you stay on the platform longer. So it takes what you're interested in and this is based on like the video that if you watch a video all the way through of dog food and you hit the like button, it's going to remember, oh, this guy likes dog food content.
He must have a dog.
Yeah, he must have a dog. And so you're going to get a lot more dog food stuff. So the number of followers and subscribers, the amount that it matters is significantly less now. Because I don't have a huge following, right? But I'm pulling off 200,000, 300,000 views on a video. And it only works because people are interested in, I figured out what they're interested in.
Right.
And so that's kind of how you need to look at it. If you're just now starting, I would say find somebody in the space or in your niche that you see and that you like their content and it's also successful, and study and study and study and research and see why their stuff is working before you even start making a video.
Interesting. So if I were to do some self-application with that, not that I compare myself to like a Theo Von or a Joe Rogan, but the concept of a one-on-one, face-to-face interview is definitely what is appealing to me about sitting down and doing the show. But, like besides copying the greats, which, we could do whether we're in painting or sculpture or theater or whatever, sports, we can all copy the greats, but how can we apply that? How can we what are like 3 things that we can do as content creators to get more views, to get the message out there?
Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned like not copying. So I do want to emphasize, don't just go out there and like, if you're listening to this, don't just go copy completely. Like take the format and use it with your, what I call the big 3. So it's your big 3 things that the big 3 pillars of your personality. And so like mine is faith, family, and creative or video. Let's just say that. And so I'll take these 3 things using the format. So the format that you have mentioned with Theo Von and Joe Rogan is one-on-one podcast video. And so you're using the right format And now it's like, okay, how can I make it my own? And how can I be an outlier while also using the rules that they and the strategies that they use to get out there? So whenever I say strategies, we're thinking about titles, we're thinking about thumbnails, we're thinking about the first 30 seconds of the videos, because the platforms are looking at the first few seconds, and this is called retention.
Okay.
So it's how long somebody watches your video
Sure.
when they're scrolling or if they click on it on YouTube. And so the goal is to have a good title, a good thumbnail, and a good hook. That's what we call it. These three things, no matter what social platform, you have to have in order for the algorithm to see that people are liking it. And so if you can package your piece of content in a way that appeals to the viewer, so you're now making content for the consumer instead of for yourself,
Right.
then they'll be able to find your video easier, and they'll be able to click on your video easier because they're actually interested in what it is. Like it's also a little bit of human psychology too.
Right.
And so if you write the best book ever, as an example, you've put together this perfect piece of art, but the title sucks and the front cover sucks. Nobody's ever going to read it because they're not drawn to it. And so same exact thing with a YouTube video. You could have the greatest YouTube video on planet Earth, but if the title doesn't match, it doesn't make sense, it doesn't invoke interest, nobody's going to click on it. And so I think that's something to think about as well, as how much value are you providing in the content, and then how are you packaging that content for the world to see.
Right. Right. That's interesting.
I don't know if that makes any sense
No, it does.
at all.
It kind of gets my gears running, thinking, because something that, Sam and Ben and I have discussed as we make these shows every week is, how can we, clip has kind of been one of the things at the top of the list, like clip things so that we're putting out 15 or 30-second clips on different social media platforms. But then I'm also, and we've talked about this too, creating more of an intro, rather than just the slide that we do up and then my intro, but something that, maybe kind of like builds interest. I just think about like any sitcom I've ever watched, how there's kind of a, that first 30-second kind of rollout of what you're getting to watch and shots of the family or whatever.
It gives you a reason to stay around for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
So, create content for the consumer. Because like if you think about it, and whenever you're scrolling, if you get on Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform that you choose, and you're scrolling trying to decide, or you're on Instagram Reels and you're like, oh, that video is interesting, I'm going to keep watching it till the end. Or if you're like, oh, that's boring, swipe. Within 2 or 3 seconds, And so how do you get them within those 2 or 3 seconds to make them stay?
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest keys. If you're just making content, I use realtors a lot as examples. If you're just making content about yourself, like if a realtor says, hey, look how many houses I closed this month.
Right.
Hey, look at this house that I just closed. Look at my clients that I just helped. There's ways to do it that don't sound salesy, but if you're just posting that stuff, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like, they are on social media to be entertained or educated, not to be sold to.
Yeah.
And so that's the way that you need to think about it right now. And I don't know, it might change. Like, it always changes. 2 years ago, it was different.
Yeah. I've always kind of kept an eye on, social media for sure, but even before social media, with the attention span, and like, you're watching a movie or a TV show and we're changing the camera angle about every 3 seconds to 5 seconds just to keep our attention. But now you've got clips that are like 3 seconds long, 5 seconds long, and that's the entirety of the content from that creator at any given time. And, I guess that's okay, but I still, I don't like having a short attention span. I like thinking that I can sit down and read a book or have an hour-long conversation with a stranger or whatever, but it's a muscle that kind of needs to be practiced. So I don't know if that's maybe some like internal, I'm just recognizing some like internal pushback about the Travi Wavi channel. Like, hey, maybe you have an hour of attention and maybe you don't, but we're going to try to bring you an interesting personal piece.
Yeah. And I think people who find value in that will stay and watch. But it may take them 10, 20 seconds to make that decision in the first place. And so, like me, I'll watch a 3-hour podcast because I'm either learning about something or it's a hilarious podcast by Theo Vaughn, whatever it is. So there's a reason, there's a value exchange happening. And I know that right off the bat because I've either watched them before and they've gained my trust, or if it's a random person, the first 30 seconds were like, okay, this makes it look like it's worth watching the whole way. And so they'll never know if the conversation is good at the first hook or the first part. The first thing that they see is going to make it feel like it's worthwhile for them to stay.
So this might be a little bit of a challenging question, but I want to pick on the cash hiding thing that you've been doing, where I've seen it all over different things, but you've been doing it locally. Put a couple 20s or whatever, some cash, some tape it to the side of a park bench or a tree or wherever, and then a quick kind of, oh, come find it here. That's been really successful for you, but do you think that it's been successful because it's kind of a successful hook and that you were the first one here just to kind of try that?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people in other towns doing it as well. And I've seen probably 5 or 6 different accounts doing it. Every single account, every single video is going viral with it locally.
And so because I've seen this kind of pop up in this, it smells like a trend. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But also I wonder, is it sort of a commentary on where we're at culturally with the economy, that something as simple as just hiding $20 to $100 of cash is what actually is bringing our attention because we're also cash starved?
I think everybody likes money.
Sure.
I don't think that will ever change.
I like money.
Sam likes money.
I don't think that will ever change. So I know for a fact, based on the history of game shows,
It's like a prize.
people are drawn to that.
Yeah.
And so it's using that same feeling of like, it's a mystery of like where it's at. And so they got to solve the mystery, which keeps them engaged. They're like, oh, where is that? And how much money is that?
Yeah, and maybe rewatching the video
And
to
the
get
fact that
clues or whatever.
And the fact that they have a chance to go and get the money is more intriguing as well. And so I'm taking
'Cause
something.
it makes it real life.
Makes it real life.
Yeah.
So I'm taking something as simple as I put $16 out there one day, and I had a couple 5s and like a few 1s, and I put it out there. People don't care really how much it is. They're just like, the fact that they are able to get something, like it's a value exchange because they're like, they have an opportunity to get free money. And so I've kind of battled with the type of audience I'm bringing, but at the same time, the goal with this is to amass a large local following that's going to be beneficial overall for me and my clients.
Yep.
So that's like the end goal.
Yeah.
I won't do these probably forever unless I figure out a way to monetize it very well, which I've started doing. But we'll see. I've only been doing it for a few weeks. And so, yeah, I'm creating something. I'm creating a value exchange, and people are intrigued because they're like, this guy's just leaving money in a parking lot. There all sorts of questions go through their head. They rewatch it. They're like, is this really in Abilene? Like,
how can this guy afford to be giving away money?
Exactly. And something as simple as a $20 bill. And I mean, I get haters. Like, people are like, oh, why don't you go give it to a homeless person? I'm like, dude,
They can find it too. It's available.
social media is free.
Yeah. Social media is free.
Anybody can see it. Anybody has access to this video, right? But yeah, just taking the fact that people love money, they love a mystery, they love figuring out with clues, they love a game show, and combining all that together. Also, while helping the community, I think it's just huge. At least if it's for a little while, I think it's a great marketing campaign.
Well, like you said, I mean, it's gotten 4 or 5 times the amount of our population's eyes on your content and what you're doing.
After this weekend, it's probably going to be well over 1 million views within a couple weeks.
It's crazy.
We have a big one coming this weekend.
Nice.
I can't say anything else.
Surprise, surprise.
But it's huge. I'm having people, for example, this is a way you can utilize content for your business. I wear my hat in my videos. In pretty much every video that I put out, I try to wear something of my business. So all these eyeballs are seeing Howdy Media, Howdy Media, Howdy Media. And then they go to my account, they see Howdy Media. see video production, content consulting. And so I've had a ton of countless random people that I've never met. They're like, hey, I discovered you through Cash Hunts. Actually, we have an event coming up. I didn't even know you existed. Can you help us out? And so that's happened multiple times.
Nice.
And it's beneficial for literally everybody, for the community. People win money. People get more eyeballs. We had a sponsor, Thornton's Roofing. They put in $50 and I went and hit it. And that one is probably about to hit 200,000 views alone.
Nice.
200,000 people saw Thornton's Roofing's
Yep.
logo, their card, their phone number.
Yep.
It's just like there's not much else that you can spend $50 on and get that kind of reach locally.
Yeah. Do you feel that we have to kind of become a little bit more like what you're doing with this Cash Hunt? Like it's a little bit outside the box. It's a little shameless in a sense, but it's not tricky or sneaky. It's still authentic, but it's yeah. Do you feel like that's something that we're going to continue to need to do to get eyes on our prize?
You don't have to do something like that. I've had, combined millions of views before that even happened.
Yeah.
And so this is just one format that I'm testing.
Yeah.
And it's working very well.
Yeah.
I've tried all kinds of formats. I've tried on-street interviews. I've tried walking into random businesses and making a free video for them. I've tried podcasting, YouTube videos, camera reviews, like all these different formats. Some work better than others. Some work better globally. Some work better locally. And so it's a matter of picking that format that you want to focus on for a little while, trying it out. And if it works, keep doing it. Why not? If it doesn't work, pull back, find a different format, and try that one. So I think you don't have to do something like giving away money.
Right.
Obviously, the idea of it is a very viral idea. I mean, have you watched any of Mr. Beast's stuff?
Oh, yeah.
So same exact thing.
Yeah.
He just does it on a massive scale through games, through challenges. And that's why he has blown up so much.
Yeah. I remember watching a Mr. Beast podcast. It might have been with Joe Rogan years ago, where he discussed how he got into it and all the time he spent learning algorithms and seeing what things went viral and how to capture attention and all that. And it is almost like you need someone that has a mind for that, like yourself, that can be that creative consultant in this sort of media section, because there's just so much to know. It's changing all the time. AI is going to mess this up. It's going to continue. I mean, I don't know if for better or for worse, but it's coming at us, and it's having a huge impact on. What's the new SEO? It's like with AI, it's got a new name or
AI
something.
SEO.
Yeah, it's like, okay, and you really, it's like that has almost become as important as your content or your, what you're creating or offering your service to the public. It's almost become more important to make sure that you're being seen and heard and known in your community, because word of mouth still, I think, is the best advertising. But next to that, you've got to be savvy.
Absolutely. And I think, so what you're describing is a personal brand or a brand of some sort. And personal branding has become huge the last year. And so if you can build a personal brand and gain the attention of lots of people, that's a skill that takes time to develop and figure out. It's very valuable, because you think about these companies who are trying to reach that type of audience. They're going to come to you because all eyes are watching that personal brand. So if they have a product they want to sell, that's how influencers make money. If you take, there's even local influencers. This one has one of our friends, her name's Yelly. She has about 250,000 followers. She just makes content about moms who want to declutter their homes. She has fans all over the country.
Yeah.
And she gets paid. So, like, for example, Ford paid her to include her driving in a Ford one day because they're trying to reach her audience.
Yeah.
So that's how they make money. And then there's a difference between being a full-time creator and being a business owner who uses content to leverage the business.
Right.
And so the whole point of it and building a personal brand is to find, you don't need 1 million customers. usually.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to be like Bill Gates or something.
Oh, yeah. You got a widget to sell.
To have a successful business, you only need, in my opinion, like 30 to 40 really great customers and fans.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do a good job for them, the word of mouth is going to take care of itself as well.
Yep.
And so it's just getting in front of those 30, 40 people and finding them. That's how you need to use social media as. And so we've been able to slowly build that up. And now we have the clients who we've worked with who've been happy, had a good experience. Now they're going off and telling their friends. Obviously, that's how it's always been. But creating the awareness of yourself is used by social media. And AI, I kind of want to talk about AI.
Yeah, let's
too.
go for it, man.
AI is a huge part of my business.
Okay.
I know it scares a lot of people. It scares me at times. But I think if you don't, it's such a big idea that is moving so fast that if you don't, at least if you're semi new in business, like if you have a well-established business, there's going to be AI tools you can implement. But if you're a new business trying to just get started and like build something, if you're not utilizing this stuff, it's going to be very hard to compete with the ones who are. And so you kind of are forced. Like everybody was kind of forced to build a website whenever the internet was a thing.
Yeah.
And so this I believe is going to be a shift that is bigger than that, because we're going to start seeing robots and AI doing things better than humans.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you do at that point? I don't know what's going to happen.
I guess we talk about it.
I mean, like, I don't know. What do you think's going to happen?
I have concerns in lots of ways. I pay most of my bills through tattooing, and there's a company in Texas that's like offering this new automated AI-driven tattoo machine, and it's being launched in Texas. And
Let me guess, it's perfect every time.
Well, I mean, it just does little things.
Yeah.
And mostly on flat sections, because that's what it can do. But that'll grow. It'll be able to move and follow the body and all that. I mean, would it surprise me in 10 or 15 years that we have like tattoo vending machines, like photo booths?
You just stick your arm in and...
Yeah, I mean, that makes... even like portable tattoo vending machines. All that makes sense. Just watching the tattoo industry market struggle right now, for like many other industries are struggling. Economics right now. It's a luxury item, kind of like lipstick. But so I have, there's that aspect. That's like the physicality of the AI coming into reality. I'm concerned about people getting in feedback loops with the algorithms and lacking critical thinking skills.
I think that's going to be a big issue in the schools.
Yeah, I keep hearing discussion about how AI is going to become more of a teaching role and an individual teaching role, and I can see a lot of benefits about that. Learning at your own pace, using your interests and hobbies to kind of influence how you learn. Different learning styles. And AI could potentially like really serve a huge role there. Personally, I'm like, can I hire an AI attorney and paralegal and like let's start suing, things that I disagree with that I think are harmful to humanity? Yeah. If I had a cheap attorney team, why not?
Ooh, AI attorneys.
AI, well, that's coming. AI doctors are like
100%.
on the horizon, being able to do diagnostic things better than humans.
I had to write a contract. A couple years ago, I had to call a lawyer to write up this contract. It was like $500. And now, unfortunately, it's like, would I rather have AI write it or a lawyer write it? This is $0. This is $500. And that's where I think it's going to be tricky for business owners, because a lot of situations, it's like such a value save. So like we're talking about AI employees, and if you can hire a sales guy for $19 a month, which is an AI, versus having to pay somebody $3,000 a month. But you get the same product, or if not even better, from the AI bot. It's going to be hard to want to go and hire a human.
Yep.
And so it's going to put a lot of people in a lot of dilemmas. So I don't know. I think you're going to have to position, like, knowing what's happening now. If you're paying attention to what is going on with the AI, you're going to have to either position yourself in a way or have a skill that's not going to be able to be taken by AI, or use the tools to leverage what you're building to stay ahead of it and take advantage of this opportunity.
I do have a kind of a premonition, I guess, about people talk about it's going to create all these jobs, and I've been doing just some, thinking and meditating about what could that look like? What could that look like? How can we work? How can we partner with AI or with a robotic army to make humanity, better? That's always been, for me, I don't want to take advantage. I don't want to conquer and destroy. I want to help figure out how we can move towards that heaven on earth, right? So what are the ways? What are the paths forward? And I think right now it's really about having discussion and getting these conversations out there where maybe people start to think about it or talk to their spouses or their siblings or their children or their coworkers, because it's surprising to me how many people haven't spent time thinking about it yet. And it's okay because we're all overwhelmed. We got stuff to do. We're busy in our lives. But this is a really, really uniquely important time in humanity's existence that I just want it to be read in like bold red letters that y'all, what you think about reality is fixing to shift real quick and in ways that none of us could have anticipated. So anytime we can sit down and talk about it, have a conversation about it, ask questions, try to tease out some answers or solutions, I think is probably the best that we can do right now.
Yeah.
Because we're building the thing that's going to take us over.
Yeah. And I think it's also hard because, like, what was I going to say? What were we talking about? Sorry, I just got it.
It's all right, man. Just AI and use case and, like, thinking about how we can partner with it in the future to help humanity.
Okay. So, like, the jobs. I don't know what those jobs are going to look like.
Right.
I've even thought about doing AI consulting services, but we're getting to a point where AI can consult that person better than I could. So it's like, instead of asking me how to set up an automation for their business, they can just ask.
It has agency now.
Yeah. And so, like, nobody, I mean, people in Abilene don't realize that really yet. Because they'll call me with questions or, like, and there is a foundation of, like, how do I use this tool in the first place? But at the same time, they just don't know that they can ask that tool right now. So it's crazy, and I use it every day heavily to do all kinds of stuff, even video editing. Like, we've been able to put out tons more content because we have help with AI editing. And so, like, with clips, this is something, I don't even know if y'all have heard of it, but Opus Clips.
Opus Clips. Take a note, Sam.
Take notes.
Opus Clips. Okay.
This is a free little golden nugget. But there's a website. It's just called Opus Clips. It's opus.pro. And you basically upload your long form videos. So something like a podcast, something that's 5-10 minutes, an hour long, however. And it cuts it up for you into vertical segments. It follows the faces of whoever's talking. It puts B-roll automatically. It puts captions automatically. So, like, I'll put in an hour-long podcast, and within 8 minutes, I have 40 clips ready to post.
Nice.
And so that's one way that we use it. And this is huge because repurposing your content is huge. It's another golden nugget. You'll never run out of content if you continue to repurpose. So if you sit down and film a 30-minute YouTube video one day. You could then reuse that same content across all platforms, email blasts, LinkedIn articles. Like you can use the transcript and have AI write an article using your tone and voice. All from this one 30-minute video, and then it just scatters. So now one piece of content is 15. It only took 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And before, this was not possible without AI.
Right.
And so people ask me a lot how I get so much content out there and how I post so much. And it's literally because I just use AI.
Well, I mean, it's doing the work of 10 people for you.
Yeah, and it's a huge benefit as a small business owner because you can do the work of 10 people and only have 2 or 3 actually costing monthly payroll.
Yep.
And so that's where I'm at with it. It's super beneficial for learning and that type of thing. With schools, I get worried because it's also equally harmful because they can easily just get the answer. They can say, hey, can you help me study for this? Or they could say, hey, can you give me the answer? Either way, you're going to get the same end result, but which way is easier?
So, this is kind of a bigger pushback question, but, if we're moving headlong into a future where AI really has control over so many different aspects of our lives, and we're leaning into it, asking for answers and solutions to our problems, at what point do we cease to become human with our human fallibilities because we're being propped up by super artificial general intelligence?
Yeah, I think that's going to be
and we start reflecting, mirroring it.
We're going to have to be careful. And it's going to be a weird time.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be, like you said, we're going to be relying on it. We're only going to know how to prompt. We're not going to know how to think and solve the issue on our own. And so with schools and education, it's like, I feel like it's the same type of thing when a calculator came out. You go to math class, you figure it out by hand.
Or Google Maps. There's a lot of ways that we've already used intelligence
and so,
to help us.
What's going to stop somebody from just pulling out their phone or calculator and doing the equation there instead of solving it by hand? And is it beneficial or not? Because it's going to save you tons of time and you're not going to get it wrong. Versus critically thinking. And that's like another, it's just on a way higher scale. This is like our entire lives.
The stakes are high.
The stakes are very high. And I think, I don't know, I've watched some interviews with the head guy at OpenAI.
Sam Altman.
And he was talking about, this question came up, and they were talking about the jobs and how if everything is going to be commoditized and there's going to be an abundance of everything, like food, water, because AI has figured out how to create more.
Yeah, a fur-lined trap.
So like he was asked what is going to be the result of this and how do we function as a society whenever this happens? Because it is going to happen. It's exponentially growing faster and faster and smarter every single day. So a year from now, there's no telling what's going to be out there or what it's going to figure out. But he talked about a universal basic income. At that point, it's like, why even have an income? Because all you're going to do with it is just buy once. Like, a new iPhone.
You get like a state credit for housing and electricity and food.
And then we just all exist and... I guess the perks would be you get to have a relationship with your family and your friends more.
Well, and they say that we will have more time to think about things and be creative, and that's all fine and dandy. It's a really big Pandora's box that's being opened in front of our eyes and literally in our backyard with that facility. So one more quick comment about that, and then we'll start to wrap this up a little bit. So another local podcast in town, Blaze Reagan has I can't remember the title of his show. Sorry, Blaze. But he had on Brian Yates last week, which I got to watch most of. And Brian Yates, forgive me all, I'm not sure of his title, but he's something to do with our water district. One of the things that a lot of people have had concerns about with the Lancium project for sure, and all these data centers in Texas, and in the world is the water usage, because they required a lot of water to cool down the compute. Well, Brian Yates went on to say, based on what he's seen and the calculations that they've seen, he's not as concerned about the water usage at Stargate. Mostly because it's a closed loop system.
Yeah.
We have access to water. It will be impactful, but they will be using about 200,000 gallons of water less than the Coca-Cola facility. So they won't even be our biggest water user in our area. So that was interesting. But he did make the comment that he's pretty concerned about the amount of electricity it's going to need. And I mean, you use electricity in all your gadgets and gizmos and all these things, and we use it in our home. But 1 gigawatt of power is really hard for people to imagine how much power that is. You know,
It's because you can't see it.
you can't see it. Yeah, it's not like a volume of water or something like this. But yeah, we're on track to need more electricity in this country, like a factor of 10 to what we're using now, which blows my mind because my whole life I've been told to reduce, reuse, recycle. You know, turn the lights off when you leave the room. And so it's interesting that whole paradigm shift has happened in the last few years, where we need compute. We're going to do whatever it takes. 47% of our GDP right now is data center build-outs. We're all in on this thing. You know, I don't think we're going to turn it around. So,
And I think whoever, it's smart but also risky, because I think that we know and the world knows whoever wins this race of AI is going to be the leader of the world.
Yep.
They're going to control the world.
Yep.
And so I think that's why they're probably going so heavily in. They're not going to let China beat us, you know? And so I think the power issue, that's probably the biggest thing that I'm concerned about, is we have all these computers and all this power, and say, where are we going to get it, first of all, which they're trying to come up with solutions like nuclear power.
Natural gas.
Yeah, and I think nuclear power is going to be probably the best bet for as of right now. What I think will change within the next year. Have you ever researched quantum computing?
Oh yeah.
So with that, it's probably going to be able to figure out a way to power itself.
I think that
more.
too. You know, I know that a lot of the units that are being placed at Stargate are already quantum capable.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with ChatGPT about this a few weeks ago. Like, so you're getting built in my backyard, and you're like, basically, what's the lifespan on these current computers, these NVIDIA computers that are coming out? And according to ChatGPT itself, it says 3 to 5 years. And that's kind of the expectation, right? We're going to build all these things out. We're going to put the absolute cutting edge technology in there with the expectation that very quickly it will be outdated.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're sitting on a lot of outdated technology. So there's just a lot of bottlenecks that I see. You know,
we're currently producing technology at a rate, though, that as soon as it's produced, it is outdated.
It's outdated.
It's becoming
We can't
a daily
produce
thing.
the modern tech in theory fast enough to stay current.
So I wonder about all these things and how it's going to play out. But maybe we can have you back on the podcast and, another 8 months to a year and like see where things are at.
And right now I'm pro AI for the most part.
Yeah.
Up until the point where we lose our own brains.
Yeah.
And don't know how to function on our own.
You don't want to plug in?
I don't want to plug in. I'm not a fan of chips in your bodies or anything like that. I'm not going to do that. It's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. And, I have a 3-month-old.
Yeah.
What is school
What's the
going to
future
look
gonna
like?
look like?
What is the world going to look like in 20 years when she graduates?
Yep.
I've
got grandbabies and I feel the same way. Like this is, I don't know what to expect.
I really don't know what to do.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, I guess we're just going to live by today. Like, we're just going to live in the moment.
One day at a time.
And take it one day at a time, and enjoy every single day that the Lord gives us. And we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
And I don't know. YouTube may come out with a whole YouTube university and be the only school on the planet that is driven by AI or something. I don't know. I feel like universities they got their hands full as well. It's like the college degree is slowly becoming worthless.
Yes.
And
Or
our
quickly
whole
becoming
or sorry,
worthless.
yeah, quickly. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I feel like our whole lives, we've been told that's the only way,
Yeah.
which is a
Yep.
whole other thing. I think is
Yep. Yep. There's a lot of things that are coming down the pike that we're going to have to sort out. Well, do you have any kind of closing thoughts or questions for me today? And then we'll see about getting you back on here in
I
the
mean,
future.
not really. I don't know what it looks like from the outside, but I'm trying to bring Abilene up to speed on some things, and video and content and social media is one of those things. It is a powerful tool. If you're listening to this and you want help, like reach out. My Instagram is at Daron Javon, or Facebook or YouTube, wherever you want to reach out, Daron Pacheco. But if you have any questions, I'm all ears. This is what I do for a living, and so I help people, business owners, and that sort of thing. And this whole world, like, I don't know. The Lord has a plan. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what it is. And just keep that at the center, and be all right.
That's good. Well, I really appreciate you taking time to be with me today on the channel and sharing your wealth of knowledge. And maybe we'll stay in contact and get you back on in the future. Friends,
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching today. The Travi Wavi, just a wonderful little conversation pit brought to you live once a week, downtown historic Abilene, Texas, storybook capital of America, where all the great characters come together. And we're gonna still be here next week trying to figure it out. I think Travis Craver is going to be back on. We'll discuss some things with the city and city council and what's happening there. And until then, I'm signing off from the Travi Wavi. Thank you, Sam Wolf, and thank you, Daron.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
Yep.